And welcome to a Wednesday evening over the hump day. Very hot and spookily warm in southeastern Michigan. Welcome to another edition of Butch on Sports. Simply Butch is here. And as always, thanks for tuning in, boys and girls here. On an abbreviated version of Butch on Sports, we'll give you some sports news. Yes, always, I say, you can't get enough of. And as always, I want to say, and will say, as long as I do this show, thanks for tuning in. Okay, well, the Detroit Tigers, let's start off with them. Get them out the way here. They didn't win the series, but they won the final game to keep from getting swept. Excuse me, boys and girls. Clear my throat here. Detroit Tigers, after Riley Green is on the disabled list. We'll get to that a lot more in a second. On the same second year, he went on the 10-day disabled list. However, that's going to be a little bit longer. That tour is going to be a little bit longer because they found out he has a stress fracture in his left leg. His replacement was a person they just traded for because of other reasons. There was Jake Marisnick. He made a big catch in the opening game and delivered an RBI single in the sixth inning, and the Tigers avoid a sweep by the Texas Rangers with a 3-2 victory on Wednesday at Comerica Park. Let's talk about Marinish there for a minute here. Detroit Tigers acquire outfielder Jake Marinish. He's an 11-year Major League Baseball veteran from the Chicago White Sox. That was done on Tuesday in exchange for cash consideration. Marinich is above average defender in all three of the outfield positions, which the Tigers need very much so. He joins the Tigers in the wake of an injury to outfielder Max Vealing. Vealing was placed on the 10-day disabled list, retroactive from Monday with lower back soreness. Ultimately, the Tigers don't want to put their outfield in suffering. I will put it that way, in a nice little way, because the outfielding has been status quo. Riley Green and Akil Badu, who's gotten better playing the outfield and a little bit more consciousness there. They do miss a good right fielder. They now have one, although on this particular day, Max Marinich plays center field, and the big reason. Early this morning, we find out that the Tigers have a big loss. That Riley Green was sent to the injury reserve list with a stress factor in his left tibia. The Tigers will get a day off before they go to Chicago to play the Chicago White Sox there. So we're going to see how mighty the Detroit Tigers are on the road. They should be beating a lot of these teams, especially the White Sox there, per se. But again, let's wait and see here. You know, the Boston Celtics sure didn't make it easy. However, the Miami Heat was officially headed to the NBA Finals. Caleb Martin of the Heat fended off the Boston Celtics on Monday night at TD Garden to take game number 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals with a 103-84 victory. Martin dropped in 26 points short of 11 of he shot 11 of 16 from the field, which turned out to be a blowout in Boston, and the fans I know was very, very beside itself in the third quarter. But what can you say there? It's hard to come back from 3 back and then win, and it hasn't happened in the NBA for a record at this time there. Boston always thought they had something going on, but again, it did not happen for them. Boston's out of it. The Heat is in it. Florida is going to be happy, happy, joy, joy with the Panthers down there. Matter of fact, they were the worst team in the NHL when it came down to getting into the playoffs. And they're playing in the Stanley Cups. They'll be playing this Saturday against the Golden Knights. However, you don't have to wait long for the NBA Finals to happen there because the Heat are now in Denver, Colorado, getting ready for that altitude there. That's basically will be a factor with the short rest that they have. However, the Denver Nuggets have had almost about 10 days worth of resting and relaxation. Let's see if they come out rusty. It'll be Nikola Jokic and Jimmy Butler for their preceding teams hitting the court for the NBA Finals. Again, that starts off on Thursday. Not yes, tomorrow. By the way, you might want to look at ABC. All those games will be broadcasted on that particular network there. John Gruden is back. A huge scandal during the time with the Raiders led him to his firing. Was it fair and just? I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know the truth, boys and girls. But Gruden is back after a long stay doing television and some successful days with the Tampa Bay. And again, yes, the Raiders in the earlier days. He's now back in football. What is he doing? Well, the NOLA.com, they reported that he has a limited capacity with the New Orleans Saints. Gruden's been working with the Saints' new quarterback, Derek Carr. Gruden is familiar with Carr from his time with the Raiders and have long known him to be a offensive guru. So the Saints ain't telling too much, but they give them as they say, a limited role in running the team. Do not be surprised if the team go AWOL or don't do well in the NFL early doggone emission of the 2023-24 season and don't see Gruden get popped in there as a new coach. Spookier things have happened. Speaking of the Detroit Lions, they announced today that the 2023 Quick Lane Bowl will be played Tuesday, December the 26th at 2 p.m. That'll be televised on ESPN, of course, right after Christmas, right after you don't want to get out of bed. Unless you want to take your stuff back to the stores, as it's Boxing Day all around the world, and get your money back if they let you have it. The Quick Lane Bowl on Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram at quickbowllanes.com for new news and updates. This will be the ninth annual Quick Lane Bowl. Quick Lane Bowl and Auto Centers has been the title sponsor for the college football bowl game at Ford Field since 2014. What can I give you there? Not too much, but I gave you something. I gave you a little something. Boy, either I'm catching a cold or this these allergies of things flying off through the air here. They say it's what they call it a dirty day or air pollution quality control day, whatever they call it. It's not doing me very well at all here. But I'll get better. I'm gonna get my rest tonight here. The Chevrolet Grand Prix. This is why I got to get my rest here. The Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, presented by Lear, will return to the streets of downtown Detroit June the 2nd through the 4th. Yes, the events will feature the cars from the NTT Indy Series racing in the Chevrolet Indy Grand Prix, the IMSA Michigan Pilot Challenge, the Indy NXT by Firestone, and the Grand Am Series presented in by Pirelli tires there. The event is also a collective of referrals to the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. Yes, I'm going to tell you when. Again, June the 2nd to June the 4th in downtown Detroit this year. It's not at Belle Isle. A slew full of entertainment and things to do. A lot of the seats for the Grand Prix are free. First come, first served to get in the seat and watch the cars race around downtown Detroit, up and down Jefferson, and all the other cracks and crevices that they made up for this particular tour. Tomorrow, I will go see a lot of this stuff there. At the kickoff of the luncheon for the Grand Prix will be tomorrow, starting at 11:30. Yours truly will be down there to get some free food and talk to some racers and some of the people who put this thing together, like Bud Decker and the whole 9 yards. I will try my doggonest to get some interviews and some goodies for late Sunday night. Yes, we will be on the air late Sunday night because of the Grand Prix, or early Monday morning, one of the two, to give you some of the best news out of that Grand Prix, and also some news about the Tigers. And get ready for the Lions because they got some mandatory OTAs coming up before they finally pack it up and take a little time off. And before you know it, it'll be July and training camp will be starting for them there. Isn't that great, boys and girls? Lovely. I'm still getting over the Boston Celtics and also the Miami Heat and how many fans was on each side of the fence. I, I don't participate a lot on social media other than posting Butch on Sports there. But you see some of the comments, they were really abrupt. I mean, really abrupt there. And I look at it and get a good laugh at it. I don't get into the commentary of it, other than, again, my podcast, this podcast exactly on Butch on Sports. Who do you pick between Denver and the Miami Heat? Well, of course, Denver's going to be the favorite. But the Miami Heat, I wouldn't rule anything against them. I wouldn't rule anything against them at all. And also, again, I'm going to mention the Stanley Cups will start this Saturday. It will be, yes, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights against the Florida Panthers. That'll start off in Las Vegas. That's Saturday night. That's on TNT, by the way. I don't know how this going to work out on TNT versus having the Stanley Cups on a regular commercial network. I'm saying that because they're keeping a lot of people from watching this unless they make some arrangements quick, fast, in a hurry. And it seems like to me TNT, TBS, Turner Broadcasting, this is who owns that conglomerate of having the rights to the Stanley Cups this year, don't get together with a station like CBS, who they are in big conglomerate with, okay, and show the Stanley Cups on CBS. Wouldn't that make any more sense? Yes, it would. It'd make a lot of sense. You know why? Because that's free television. That's right. I said it. Free television. And everyone's deserving to see that particular brouhaha. But let's see how the National Hockey League come out of this and what the commissioner, after all this is over, see how the ratings are. And I don't think they're going, I'm just going to say it, I don't think they're going to be very good. Where they're going to have to make some other arrangements for the NFL or NHL, should say, playoffs and Stanley Cups be show. Of course, we in the city of Detroit and Southeast Michigan are very lucky, and most of up north is very lucky too. Why? Because old CBC, we can just bypass all of that. So if you're in the southeastern Michigan area or able to pick up Windsor Network, W not W C B T CBET Windsor, okay. They have CBC and they will be broadcasting that live as well. So if you have CBC, we're able to get Channel 9, which is in Windsor. Hey, do yourself a favor. Don't sweat it. Just cut on that and enjoy. Again, we in Southeast Michigan and the majority of Michigan that picks up any of the Canadian networks there, we're very, very blessed. Oh boy. Yes, we are. Butch on Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. Check out Butch on Sports on Facebook, always on Facebook. And you can also go to the homepage of Butch on Sports. That's Butch on Sports. You can type in SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.Podomatic.com. Yes, you can. You can do that. We will be on late Sunday, early Monday morning for Butcher on Sports. Sorry about that, but yours truly got to get you on the Grand Prix. That's an all day, a matter of fact, all weekend is starting with me tomorrow. So, hey, beware, okay, and don't be square. Tell your friends about Butcher on Sports. And by the way, let me get this out my system before I go on there. I want to thank everybody from WSOO in Sault Ste. Marie, Mark San Antonio was on this morning show there. Matter of fact, we talked about the Tigers there, and we did mention something about the outfielders. And I said something about Max Vealing kind of failing, not looking right. Well, that day, that afternoon, they said he was on the 10-day disabled list. But what do I know here? I just kind of observe people know when just something's not right. And he went out there and got Jake Marisnick. And then the next day they announced that Wiley Green is no longer going to be available for us for a while. They said 10-day disabled list, but you know, boys and girls with a fractured leg, it's going to be longer. Hey, I just said it, you know. Hey, check out Butch on Sports. Tell your friends about it. Have a great, great long weekend, boys and girls. It's going to be hot in the state of Michigan there. Take care of yourself and stay safe.